Hello, everybody.
Hello. Hello.
Hello, hello. All right. Um, I'm Luc Vauvan. I'm a senior solution engineer at Automotive in Unity. I've been there for over 4 years, and I'll be helping Mark giving this talk about Automotive.
And I'm Mark Schoennagel, lead evangelist for the Americas, and I'll also be helping Luke give the talk. Tag team.
Yes. Automotive. How Unity is raising the bar of graphic fidelity.
End of PowerPoint.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to start off, and I just want to show you some of the neat new stuff that we're working on in collaboration with Pixies. A couple months ago, Unity announced a partnership with Pixies, Pixie Software. So what I'm going to do is show you the Unity plugin, show you how easy it is to import very high-resolution CAD data into Unity, and then be able to manipulate it, go into VR. Some fairly straightforward things in Unity, but if you haven't actually seen this before, a lot of automotive people haven't actually seen just how easy it is to do virtual reality with Unity. So I'm going to show you how to do that, and then Luke is going to show you some really, really cool stuff with Pixie Studio and some new material libraries. So to start off, I'm going to show you something I usually don't do, which is loading up a scene, importing things. So this is the Pixies plugin. And basically what you do is you go to the Pixies website, download the plugin. Unfortunately, I don't have internet access today. Otherwise, I'd show you the web page. But you just download the plugin, install it. It's a Unity package. And then just go to the new Pixies menu and click on Import CAD. From there, I'm just going to navigate to a folder. And I actually have the real powertrain that Lexus provided us for their brand new LC500H car. This is incredibly rare that they would give us a file like this. So I'm just going to click on Open here and just show you some of the neat stuff that we can do. So this is the importer settings. On the Unity side, it's very easy, very straightforward. Luke's going to show you some more advanced stuff with Pixie Studio. But as far as the Unity plugin, all the defaults work wonderful. So we'll keep scale the same, right-handed. I turned off Z up. Some modeling packages, Z is a little different. So this data comes from CATIA. So it's very high-resolution NURBS data that this is going to translate. I'm not going to focus on LODs, level of details, right now. We'll talk about that in a minute. So I'm just going to go and turn the LODs off. But I am going to import it at the highest quality setting that we can do. These settings here regard to the hierarchy, how the nodes are laid out once you do the import. I'm going to have it transfer all of the objects under one root. I'll keep the UVs. They already have UVs, so I won't have them generate new. Everything looks great, so I'm going to click on Import. Now, this is going to take about a minute. One thing to remember is this is very high-resolution CAD data. There are literally 1,000 or so components and parts to this scene. It's actually doing it's not just an import, it's doing a lot of mathematical calculations to convert the NURBS data to polygon data. And what's really cool here is if I open up my performance monitor, come on, Windows, there we go. You can see it's acting slow because Pixies is using every core on my machine. You can see I was at 100% CPU utilization. If we go here to our CPU, actually, if I open Resource Monitor, we can see, come on, there we go. We are at 100% CPU utilization. So obviously, I'm on a fairly powerful laptop. If I had a very large workstation, maybe 2 physical CPUs, 16 cores, 32 cores, whatever, this would be that much faster. So as it is, it's a very fast process. Actually, it's kind of fun to watch. You can see it kind of tapers down. Once it gets near the end, that lets me know it's almost complete. And I show this, I mean, it doesn't seem that great that it takes a minute, but this model is about 40 to 45 million triangles when it gets done importing. Once that happens, there's my model. Here it is in all of its amazing glory. What's crazy is every single component of this Lexus vehicle is in this model. If I were to click here on the Lexus logo, I can zoom in. I can start to pull these objects off. I'll go here into local and just pull that off, pull this off. and we can see just how crazy this data is. Look, all the fasteners, the nuts and bolts, everything that makes this car what it is. This is the actual mechanical manufacturing files. Really impressive and amazing that, that Pixies gave this to us. I'm sorry, Lexus. Thank you. See, that's why I have Luke. One thing that's really fun to do with these mechanical drawings is the exploded view, where you actually see the objects fly apart. So there's a couple ways we could do that. One way, if I want to be very creative, is I could use something like Timeline and manually animate these components. So what I would do is actually, in fact, before I do that, notice here are all the different parts and assemblies. There are a lot of them. This was all imported. So again, every single one of these objects was converted. And if I actually open up the prefab, take a look at all these pieces. These were all just converted from NURBS. So even though it took 1 minute, minute and 10 seconds approximately, look at all the stuff that it brought in. That's incredible. Lots and lots of detail. So it's a very fast process when you really think about how much work it just did here. So anyway, let's go and have a little fun. So I'm going to click on Timeline, going to go to my root node, and just click on Create. And we'll just keep that, that file name fine. I'm going to click on this lock icon, this little tiny icon. That will lock my timeline. And now I can just start animating. So I'll grab this wheel, pull it over like so, turn on my record icon, and I like to work in reverse. So I go to where I want the object to live. That sets a keyframe. I'm going to go back to frame 0, and rather than slide this back, I'll just go here and press 0. So that resets it back to the beginning or to its original position, and just that easily I've created a simple animation. I could do one more, I could do a bunch more, but let's just do one more here. I'll add a new animation track. I'll bind it to the root node. Go here to frame 90, so we're another 30 seconds in advance. The timeline runs at 30 frames a second, so every 30 frames is 1 second. So maybe now I'll grab this wheel, move it out to here. Oops, turn on the record first. Sets the keyframe. Wrong timeline. Let's undo that. Sorry. There we go. Make sure you have the correct timeline selected. Go here to frame 90. Grab that. Give it a little nudge. That sets the keyframe. Go back to frame 30, 31, somewhere right there. Set this to 0. And just that easily, I've created the beginnings of an exploded view. So obviously, you could be very creative here. You can make these pieces go any way that you want. And then we could dive in, start to take a look at this brake assembly, and really get a good idea of how this was created. One quick thing I'll show you with Timeline, convert this to a clip track, and now I can easily move the timing of that around. So you can be very creative with Timeline. It's a very artist-friendly tool. No code is required to do this. If I really wanted to get crazy, let's just go and delete this, and we'll get out of Timeline. I'm just going to reset my values here to 0. And instead what I'm going to do is do this procedurally. I'm going to use a script to actually change to do my exploded view. So because this model came in from CATIA, the pivot points are in they're not random, but they're not where I need them to be to do a nice exploded view. So I've got a script, and what this script does is it just analyzes my model, draws a box around it essentially, and puts the pivot point directly in the center of all of those. So this script will work on any model that you have. So I'm just going to go here to Custom Tools, Adjust Hierarchy. That's going to set this up for me. And then I've got another script called Move and Examine, which does this. I apply it to the object. You can see the script is applied here. Now when I press play, I can use my mouse to, let's back up a bit. Oh, sorry, my camera's in. Hang on. Let's back my camera up just a bit. Or you can grab the model either way. Let's grab the camera. The camera is right there. Let's just get the camera in view. Sorry. Grab the parent. Just pull this back a bit. Move it over. Okay, so now if I press play. Oh, I moved my wheel. Sorry, whatever. But you get the idea. So there's my exploded view now. 100% procedurally driven. I didn't have to write, or I didn't have to use Timeline at all, just a bit of code, and this will work on any model. Now, it's also cool here, and you'll have to forgive my flying wheel. Maybe we'll just get rid of that guy. Yeah, let's get rid of that. I didn't delete my timeline. That's okay. Another thing we can do is very easily put this into virtual reality. So what I've got here is a cool Microsoft virtual reality headset. I really like this one because there's no sensors, super easy to configure. Literally, I just have to plug it in. So I'm going to plug it in, and that's going to start up Windows Mixed Reality. Inside of Unity, all I need to do is go into my build settings, select Windows Universal, click on Player Settings, and just this guy right here, Virtual Reality Supported. As soon as I do that, this headset becomes the camera. My head becomes the camera in this scene. So now if I press play, we should see this happening here. Put this on, and now I can see the drivetrain nicely. Now I still want to be able to do the move and examine. I still want to be able to do the exploded view, like so, but I don't want to use my mouse. So I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to stop my playback, and I've got a couple objects here in my models folder. Let's go ahead and close those up where they are here under, where are my models? Prefabs. So I have two prefabs for my controllers. So I'm just going to attach these prefabs to the camera, like so. And these are models. They happen to be models of the Oculus controllers. You could use any ones you want. These have a script on them that basically creates my, my input axes. And from here, I'm going to add one more script, which is going to take my mouse control and pass it to my VR controllers. So it's here called VR inputs, and I'm just going to attach that to my car model as well. And this script is just a script you find on the internet. You can download it, and this is a very simple process that, straightforward to do this. So I'm going to grab my controllers, fancy, put on my headset. What I like about the Windows headset is this. You can fold it up and fold it down, and it's very easy to develop with. And then press play, Windows Y. Press play. And inside of here, I see all kinds of crazy triangles and explosions telling me that it's loading. And there we go. Here's my car. Now, because I'm I'm broadcasting on the projector in here, we get a bit of jitter, but it's fine. This is incredibly cool. Like, I can rotate this around. This is in my face. I can pull this car towards me. Actually, let's go like this. What I like is doing this, sticking my face into the car. It's really, really cool to do this. Like, I see every single component of this car, exactly how it was made. And so, if you're designing something like this, to be able to do this, like, I'm in heaven right now. I love cars, seeing how this works. I'm going to knock things over, so I'm going to get out of this. I'm a goofball. But that's it. It's very, very easy to go from a very high-resolution CAD model, from CATIA, from SolidWorks, from any of these solid modelers, convert those into polygons using the Pixies plugin very quickly. Do your exploded views, do your renders. Normally, I would put some materials on here, make it look really cool. But Luke has some really cool stuff to show you for an upcoming release. So I'm going to turn it over to Luke, and he's going to talk to you about some other good stuff. So thank you.
Yep. Switch. All right. So this is Pixie Studio. I'm going to show you guys some powerful things you can do with Pixie Studio. I'll bring in CAD data. It's a jackhammer. It's pretty small, so I wanted things to run fast. So it's coming in. So here it is. It's a jackhammer, Z up. The first thing you do in Pixie Studio is when you get CAD data is you got to repair it. The reason why is there's some distance between points, floating errors, and you want to connect them So you're basically saying your error tolerance here, and you just execute. Once you do that, you can tessellate, so make it triangles. And I'll imagine we want to bring this in this mixed reality headset, so I'll go very aggressive. I'll put low, and I'll put 10 millimeters, and I'll just execute it. So here we go. It's triangles now. It's 44,000 triangles for this model. So things that are really hard when you import CAD data is UVs and inverse normals. So if I go here, I can see there's no UVs, but I can also see that there's inverse normals. Everything that is pink in Unity would be basically transparent because you're seeing it, you're seeing the inverse of the normal. To repair this is quite easy. You simply go here, you do repair CAD, repair mesh, I'm sorry, and you execute, and voila. Everything that was pink is now, it's not pink anymore. I can remove the wireframe to see better. So we have a beautiful model. Now we just need to add some UVs. I'll do UV by projection, bounding box. I'll put bigger size UV so it's faster. And there we go. You can see that we have all the UVs on the model. All right. Something really cool also with this is you can decimate very well. So at this point, it has 44,000 triangles. We're going to try to bring it down to support the headset. So at this point, you can do hidden removal. You can remove by parts, polygon, and patches. So I'm going to go polygons. And what this do is it's going to put cameras all around the model, and everything it doesn't see, it will remove. Yeah, all right. So now we're down to 21,000 triangles, which is pretty good for his headsets. One last thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to this scene, and I'm going to merge the parts. The reason why is if I keep them separated like this, it's one draw call for each. So it's better to just simply merge them together. All right? So I'll go here, and I'll go scene, and I'll merge parts. Okay. And then I'm going to go here, and I'm going to delete all the empties assembly. Great. So now I have one part here, which is one big mesh. And at this point, it's pretty easy. You export your model, jackhammer .fbx. Just create an FBX file. It just appeared here. We can close this now. Nope. And then Unity, I can bring this in. Oh, yeah, jackhammer demo. All right. Oops. This is the, yeah, okay. Sorry about that.
Do you need power, by the way?
No, I should be okay with power, like my battery is. All right, so now I have an empty scene. I'll just bring in my model. And I'll add it to the scene here, and it's Z up, so I'll just rotate -90. -90, okay, perfect. And what's really cool is it kept the color ID. So if I create a material here, wait, material here, and I'll put something, let's say, yellow here. I can select the parts even though I merged everything together. So it's quite powerful. All right. So that's it for Pixie Studios. Let's go back to the presentation. Slideshow. No. Okay. So we've shown you guys how to have CAD data inside of Unity, but we still don't know how to make it look really, really good, right? So in 2018.2, we'll introduce something called HDRP. You saw it in the keynote. This is a render pipeline. It's based on physically accurate lighting and shading. And with that, it allows us to do real-time physically plausible rendering. But still, how do we get those beautiful materials in HDRP, right? So there's something called AXF. AXF is made by X-Rite, and there's a material scanner that's called TAC7. And what you do is you simply put a material in there, and it's gonna do a digital copy of it, of all the properties: color, texture, gloss, transparency, and then you can just import that into Unity, and that importer will be available in 2018.3. So what are the good things about AXF? It's an exact copy of your material, and it's really, really, really simple to use. And the negatives are, it's very, very expensive. It's about $1 million for the machine. And once you scan the material, you have to use that material. It's mathematical formulas, so you cannot do artistic touch-up on it. So at Unity, we wanted a way to make beautiful material, but without having you to pay $1 million. So we came up with a solution of photometry. The budget is about $2,500 USD for all the equipment, and we will provide that solution for free. Just come and ask us, and we'll give you the recipe. We will also introduce a new automotive material library. It's going to have over 120 materials in variation. It's going to be free with Unity, industry bundle, and the expected release will be 2018.3. Oops, sorry, demo time. All right, to the fun part. So I'm going to show you guys the material library. So remember, Mark showed you guys the drivetrain of the Lexus. I have the full Lexus in my Unity, and we'll start to add material as soon as it loads. All right. So this is the car. Right now, there's the default material on it. And if I go inside, you will see everything is there. Right. This is the steering wheel Mark showed you. And if I can go in there, in here. Sorry about that. Let's right click here. Okay. Here. Why doesn't it work? Sorry, I'm used to Mac, and this is reversed for me. Okay, so you can see every piece is there that was imported. So let's put some materials on this. I have a chair here, and let's put some leather material. So we're gonna go in materials. Here, automotive materials. I have some beautiful leather here, and I'll just add some leather. And this is a typical problem. You bring in a material, and it looks really, really big. So all you have to do is go to the leather here, and go in the window, inspector. I'm not sure why my inspector was closed. Where's the inspector? It's here, no?
Just do a new layout.
Yeah, default layout. Sorry. So it's here, and you see here some, and it reset my view. It's not cool. Not cool. Okay. So you have the tiling here, and a good tiling for this leather would be 40 by 40. Right, and you can just keep on adding materials to it, and if you go really close to it, you can see, oops, what the hell, sorry about that. You can see decent details about it. Okay, and sorry, my computer is really slow. Yeah, I think it's because I don't have power on it. All right, so I have a complete car here that I've done, because this is going to take a while. This is just to show you how easy it is. So I have my my car here. I'll just disable this one, and I'll enable this one. And, oh my God. Right. So you guys can see what it looks like a bit. Here. Here. And I can take off this so it stops selecting. Okay. So this is running real time in the scene, right? If I go in here, you can see the interior is all done, and this is all our materials that will be given to you guys for free. All right. Let's go back to this. And where's it? The slideshow. Any questions? I think it's the iPad. Questions are there.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. Turn it on, and there's going to be some questions apparently.
We have too much technology here. Hmm. Questions? Do questions come up on here?
Oh, I don't think there's. No. There's
No.
question. All right.
Okay, no questions. Are there any questions? Raise your hand.
Nope.
Figured there would be a lot of questions.
Yep.
All right. Well, there you go. Thank you very much.
Yes. And if there's any of you want to ask any question, I'll be at the booth, and Mark will probably be at the booth too.
Yep, we'll be around for sure.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.